Hi, I'm Ginger McClure, and my paper topic is going to be, at least right now, the impact of Puritanism on the American colonies, specifically the New England colonies, since they are the ones that were founded by Puritans. My interest in the topic goes back to week 1 of the course when we read a book called The Rule of Moderation. And in that book, the author talked about how the Protestant Reformation in England was more of a constitutional crisis than a theological crisis. And as he talked about how the Church of England developed as a moderate between two extremes of the Roman Catholic Church and the more radical Puritans and others in England, he also talked about how Puritans, or Congregationalists as they called themselves, believed that individuals could navigate their own relationships with God without the need for a elaborate church hierarchy. And that's what triggered my idea for this paper. I don't know if he did there or mentioned it, but he may have alluded to the American Revolution and how those Puritan ideas lead to self-government. My interest in the topic is pretty broad. Originally, I intended to write about the impact of Puritans on the English Civil War and the Commonwealth and the Glorious Revolution, ending up in the kind of American Revolution. But Dr. Mays has wisely advised me to narrow that down. And while I am very interested in the English part of that story, I am a U.S. history teacher, and researching Puritans and self-government in New England is just more useful for me in the long term. And so that is why I decided to focus on that part of the Puritan story. So I intend to start my paper very much like I started this video, with a brief, very brief summary of the English Reformation and how Puritanism developed, and then move into why the Puritans moved to the American colonies, the strong relationship between church and state in Puritan life, and how the Puritans saw their role, their spiritual role as Congregationalists, and then eventually will lead into the government as well. So, well, hopefully sooner than later, since that's what the paper is about. Some of the sources that I have several primary sources from John Winthrop. The one that I'm most excited about is one about his view of the concept of liberty. What John Winthrop, one of the founders of the Massachusetts Bay Colony, how he felt about liberty and what that meant. I also have a primary source from someone named JR. I need to do a little research to see if JR is like a pseudonym, if he was trying to stay anonymous, or if it's someone that we actually know who it is. But he wrote about Christian commonwealths, and specifically the role of a militia in a Christian commonwealth. And I think that's going to tie in as well, with the militia being needed to protect Christians from their own governments. I also want to, at some point, discuss how the colonists viewed the turmoil going on in England with the Civil War and the Glorious Revolution. And I have sources from letters that were written from people, colonists in New England, to both James II and to Prince William of Orange before the Glorious Revolution and his ascension to the English throne, about how the colonists hoped that the relationship between the English king and the American colonists goes. I also have several secondary sources that look like they're going to be pretty good, some ebooks from the Sam Houston Library, as well as one that I hope I can find. I've seen a lot of reviews on it. I'm hoping will be in the Dallas Public Library. We shall see. So I feel like I kind of know where I'm going. We will find out if that is correct. Have a great day.